can hear you! No one can hear you!
You know what I love about the basements in this neighborhood? They're very old, built with vaulted brick, 3 layers thick, and I added concrete and 18 inches of soundproofing. But go ahead, give it your best shot.
Well, I'd heard of Cross before. I knew it was a hugely successful book series, and I knew James Patterson, obviously incredibly successful writer and loved, and you know, seen mountains of Cross books here and there. And I had never read one, though. I was familiar with the movies. I remember seeing them, you know, back in the day. And but really, what opened my eyes to this project was Ben Watkins, the creator, and his script and his take on this world and this character. Especially with Aldis playing it. It felt very much steeped in today's reality. It felt very relevant. It felt very grounded. It felt like a side of DC we don't always see. And I just thought it was exciting, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he's, Ed's sense of the world is perhaps a bit skewed, as you might imagine. And he's obviously very obsessive and compulsive, amongst other things, and obsessed with detail and getting things right and making things perfect and meticulously curating people's image to look like the serial killer that he worships, to pay tribute to his heroes, you know, these gods in his mind and all that. So yeah, I think in his mind he's desperate to be worshipped, as he, you know, and remembered and a part of this canon of this pantheon of killers and things. So yeah, when Cross takes that away, I think he snaps. You know, I think him not being in control is his worst nightmare. Can I just say a quick shout out to Ben Watkins? He picked the best songs, or whoever the music supervisor is, they killed the song game. Just great needle drops, great music, fantastic, so much heart and soul. And I remember reading that speech that I think mostly 2 of our great writers, Jim and Sam, wrote, this long, like 2-3 page thing of dialogue where he's got with the mask, and he explains his whole sort of modus operandi, his manifesto. And I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be fun, but also like, don't blow it. And but it was that was really fun stuff to shoot. But yeah, and then the morgue stuff was great. I remember reading that and being like, what? I mean, we were all surprised along the way too. And Ben was like super sneaky. They would redact things even for us, and we were like, come on. But yeah, I just remember we had to do a few of the, I don't even know if it made it into the show, where the what's it called, clipboard drops to the floor and he catches it. We had to drop and catch it a few times to get it just right, and I remember that was fun. But I just remember reading that and being like, oh, that's a great moment for Ramsey, just because he's so like reflexively, you know, on it. I think I only dropped it like maybe once. I did pretty well. It was about like getting it in the right size of frame and getting it at the right time, and then does your hand look weird? All sorts of weird TV making stuff. But yeah, no, I'd like to think I did pretty well. Let's play the tape back. Cut to like take after take of me just dropping it and wasting everybody's time. No, I don't think he regrets anything. I don't know if he's capable of regret. I think the fight in Shannon really turned him on in a way, and I don't just mean in a sexual romantic way. I mean, I think that's what ignites him, you know, because he's like kind of like a feral animal in some ways, like a predator, and that's the prey. So it's like a dog when they hear a squeak toy, they go, you know what I mean? I think that the fight in her is sort of sets him on fire. And I think, you know, Eloise has brought this up, to her credit, who's a lovely actress and so great in this part, and was such a great scene partner. You know, they do meet on a date. And so even when they're locked up together in a basement, there's still something between them that is not, you know, obviously not a romantic spark anymore, but the fact that it began there's an intimacy between them still. And they are 2 people alone, being utterly honest with each other. and in this very specific power dynamic and stuff. So anyways, I think that the nuance of that relationship was, yeah, fun to play. Yeah, that stuff was really fun to shoot, and it was fun. We were like in his evil lair, you know? It was like he had this big mansion, and he has this mask on of like Ed Ramsey, this socialite, and he's, you know, and then he's down there with Shannon, and Cross is getting under his skin and flustering him, and he's starting to lose his composure, and that was fun to play. And then, you know, Aldis has talked about too, you know, Ramsey gets to push back against Cross and kind of unnerve him, and Cross is also a character who's almost never rattled. So it was really fun. And Aldis is just a great scene partner. You know, he's a really good actor. He never hits a false note. His feet are firmly planted in the ground, and yeah, so it was really fun stuff to play. I mean, and our faces were like so close sometimes, you know, that I just remember we were on like this razor's edge of trying to read each other and see who's gonna win and psychologically sort of battle and stuff. So anyways, it was a great time, that episode. I remember saying, hey, can I throw a chair? And I was like, really? You know, Ramsey's like this psycho killer torturing people, and then there's Ryan who's like, excuse me, would it be all right if I throw a chair? Thank you so much, sorry. I don't want to damage anything. And then Ben is such a great creator and writer, was like, go nuts, man, whatever you want to do. And I was like, great. And so we got to go nuts and yeah, smash my head into the glass, which none of which was planned. We were just cutting loose, having fun. Oh gosh. Well, he's a bit scary. He's a master manipulator. You know, that's the thing about these guys, like Bundy or whoever it may be. They're capable of being very charming, and coming off, you know, friendly, affable. You know, all these things. And I think, you know, Ben has talked about that's a quality he really wanted in this character, that he was capable of charm and you know, I don't know, without getting into all of it. I look around at certain figures today and you see that, you know, there are people who are very good at manipulating things in their favor. So I think he's someone who's very practiced at that. And also, when you don't have empathy or remorse or any sense of guilt or any sense of morality of right or wrong, you'll say whatever you need to say to make people believe, you know? And so that's Ed. You know what? Season 2 is, I don't know what I'm not allowed to say anything. I will say, will we see Ramsey again? My honest answer is, I don't know. The possibility exists. He's in jail, presumably, so I think what would be fun about that, if that ever did happen, and I have no clue, is you know, Cross is so smart and sort of a great profiler, and you know, can break down people's ego and psychology and things like that. And I think Ramsey is capable of that too. I think he's for all his faults, intelligent and capable and sort of. So I think the two of them, I don't know what it would entail, working together or something to understand the mind of a killer or something. It'd be fun. Selfishly, I just want more scenes with Aldis because it's fun. I have no idea, but it's a great question that I would love to explore too. And how would Ed be in jail? Powerless, you know? I mean, this is a guy who gets off on being in control and having all the power. So now that he's cuffed and in jail and completely powerless, and then, you know, it'd be interesting to see how does he use whatever situation came his way to his advantage, you know, and manipulate and get a better situation. So yeah, I have no idea, but all I know is I have great love for those guys and for the characters, so it'd be fun.